Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. A number of superstars suffered devastating losses at SummerSlam, but none more so than Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley. The two were left absolutely shocked after the biggest party of the summer, as they were both betrayed by their former Judgment Day stable mates. Now that they've been kicked out of the group that many would say they built from the ground up, the Archer of Infamy and the Eradicator need allies. And they might just find one in a 16-time champion. The 16-time champion in question is one the Judgment Day knows well and is none other than Dominic Mysterio's deadbeat dad, Rey Mysterio. For years now, the group has been at odds with Rey, and it has everything to do with Dirty Dom. But now, considering that both Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley are no longer with the faction, it might be a wise decision to approach the Hall of Famer for help. Now, at first glance, it doesn't make much sense. After all, Rey Mysterio probably views both Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley as the two superstars most responsible for his son's change in attitude. But, that being said, he also knows how much of a pain Dirty Dom is. With that in mind, he might just be open to helping the duo out, with one aim and one aim only, to bring Dominic back to his senses. It would be interesting to see Priest and Ripley team up with the one person Dominic Mysterio hates the most. But, at this point, this is nothing more than mere speculation. Only time will tell how things unfold in this civil war between the Judgment Day members. Damian Priest is eager to get his hands on Finn Balor. The man pulling the strings behind this new version of the Judgment Day is the very person who cost Damian Priest the title at SummerSlam, Finn Balor. As the new leader of the group, the Prince has successfully ostracized both Priest and Rhea Ripley. But now, they're out for revenge, and the Archer of Infamy has his sights set on his former buddy. The animosity in Priest's eyes was visible even towards the dying embers of his match at SummerSlam. The former World Heavyweight Champion is eager to get his hands on Balor, and he will eventually. Till then, though, he has to find a way to deal with this new version of the Judgment Day, one that will undoubtedly do everything in their power to make his life a living hell on Raw. The next few weeks, perhaps even months on Raw, will feature an all-out war between Priest, Ripley, and the new Judgment Day. It still is anyone's guess as to who will come out on top. But whoever it is, they will be the one to watch out for on Monday nights. Following a dramatic episode of Monday Night Raw, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley found themselves at a crossroads. The Judgment Day had grown more ruthless, and their dominance was becoming a source of contention within the faction itself. Tensions ran high, and a storm was brewing that could tear them apart. Priest and Ripley, former allies and now uneasy partners, knew they needed an outside force to restore balance. There was only one person with the clout and wisdom to help, the legendary 16-time world champion, John Cena. The tension had been brewing for weeks. Finn Balor's aggressive tactics and unrelenting pursuit of control had created a rift within the Judgment Day. Damian Priest, with his imposing presence and unwavering sense of justice, found himself increasingly at odds with Balor. Rhea Ripley, a powerhouse with a mind as sharp as her physical prowess, saw the potential for catastrophe if the group imploded. They needed guidance, someone who had faced similar challenges and emerged victorious. On the night after Raw, Ripley and Priest stood backstage, their minds racing. The locker room buzzed with activity, but the two stood apart, deep in conversation. "We can't let this continue," Damian, Ripley said, her voice steady but urgent. "If we don't do something, the Judgment Day will destroy itself from within." Priest nodded, his eyes dark with concern. "You're right, Rhea. But who can we trust? We need someone with experience, someone who understands what it takes to lead and unite." Ripley's gaze sharpened with determination. "John Cena. He's been through it all. He's faced down factions, led teams, and he knows what it takes to keep a group like ours from self-destructing." Priest hesitated for a moment. Cena was a polarizing figure. Loved by many, despised by others, his mere presence could incite strong reactions. But there was no denying his experience and the respect he commanded in the locker room. "Do you really think he'll help us?" Priest asked, doubt creeping into his voice. Ripley smiled, a glint of hope in her eyes. There's only one way to find out. The decision made, they knew they had to approach Cena carefully. His schedule was notoriously packed, but they managed to arrange a private meeting the following week. Cena, always one to give his time to those who sought it earnestly, agreed to meet them at a secluded gym, away from the prying eyes of the WWE Universe. The gym was quiet, the air thick with anticipation. Priest and Ripley arrived early, pacing as they rehearsed what they would say. When Cena finally walked in, dressed in his trademark casual attire, he exuded the calm confidence of a veteran. Damian, Rhea, he greeted them with a nod, his voice warm but curious. "What brings you here?" Ripley stepped forward, her resolve unwavering. "John, we need your help. The Judgment Day is falling apart. Finn's ambition is tearing us apart, and we need someone to guide us, to show us how to restore order." Cena listened intently, his expression thoughtful. "I've faced similar challenges before. Leading a faction isn't easy, especially when there's internal conflict. What makes you think I can help?" Priest spoke up, his voice heavy with sincerity. "You've been through it all, John. You've faced challenges and emerged stronger. We need your experience, your wisdom. We want to keep the Judgment Day together, but we can't do it alone." Cena's eyes softened, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. "I respect your honesty. It's not easy to admit when you need help. But understand this, it's not about me fixing your problems. It's about you finding the strength within yourselves to overcome them." Ripley nodded, her determination unwavering. "We know. We're not asking for a savior. We're asking for a mentor. Someone to guide us, to help us see the way forward." Cena leaned back, considering their words. "All right. I'll help you. But you need to be ready to face some hard truths and make difficult decisions. Are you prepared for that?" Priest and Ripley exchanged a glance, their resolve solidifying. "We're ready," they said in unison. Over the next few weeks, Cena worked closely with Priest and Ripley. He pushed them to their limits, both physically and mentally, challenging their perceptions and forcing them to confront their fears. He taught them the importance of communication, trust, and unity. Cena's influence began to show. Priest and Ripley grew stronger, their bond deepening as they learned to rely on each other. They confronted Baylor, not with aggression, but with the strength of their convictions, demanding that he see reason and prioritize the group's cohesion over personal ambition. The turning point came during a high-stakes match on Raw. The Judgment Day faced a formidable opponent, and the tension within the group threatened to derail their efforts. But Priest and Ripley, fortified by Cena's guidance, managed to rally the team. They fought with a renewed sense of purpose, their movements in sync, their strategy flawless. In the end, they emerged victorious. The crowd erupted, and even Baylor couldn't deny the power of their unity. As they stood in the ring, victorious and united, Cena watched from backstage, a proud smile on his face. He had given them the tools, but it was their strength and determination that had brought them through. As the Judgment Day celebrated their hard-fought victory, Priest and Ripley knew they still had a long road ahead. But with Cena's mentorship and their newfound unity, they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The Judgment Day was not just a faction, it was a force to be reckoned with, stronger and more united than ever before.